What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Wrestling is Bullshit podcast here. We do not have too much to talk about this week, but just enough to make an episode. It's been a couple of pretty chill weeks after WrestleMania, and there is stuff in the pipeline. There are things I want to talk about that I'm very excited about this week. It's just interesting because you got a WWE Premium Live event. It only has 2 title matches and really no further storyline development. I mean, they had been hinting at Jacob Fatu being a heel for a while now, so it was nothing like a surprise at all. Um, just weird, interesting times that we're entering in the world of wrestling. The way WWE has been operating, they're really boldly trying new things that completely get away. Some would even say they missed the point of what good wrestling should look like. But nonetheless, man, we do have interesting developments. They just don't come in the form of bell to bell action or storyline beats when it comes to WWE. Before we get to WWE, our one result this week comes from TNA, as Lei Ying Lee was able to defeat the daughter of Santino Marella, Ariana Grace, to regain the Knockouts World Championship. Now, this has been interesting. I thought Lei Ying Lee was going to be a solid champion for TNA, and then she loses it to Ariana Grace pretty quickly, and now she has it back. And I'm sure Ariana Grace will regain it when the time is right. And honestly, I know TNA has been getting the short end of the stick over here. I haven't really been singing any praises of TNA lately, but they still do a couple things good, right? And this is one of them, Lei Ying Lee getting the title back. So I'm very excited to see what they have in store for her and what they have in store for the Knockouts World Championship, a championship that I've always enjoyed, for years, for several years at this point. And then we get into the news here. Got a bit of unfortunate news. If I sound a little bummed, it's because I have to talk about this today. It's really WWE, or should I say TKO, their parent company, that is getting several content creators taken off and getting their pages terminated permanently. As one of these people, I understand it can be dicey and you just straight up have people posting WWE video. WWE is never like that. Let's be very clear. This is nothing new. WWE has never liked other people posting their content online. I can understand why, but the other side of that token is it's free marketing. It's free marketing when people that care about your show, that watch your show, put your show out there and talk about your show, right? There's a lot of us that like to do that here on the internet, and there's a lot of good people that I don't know them personally. There are some good friends I've made along the way. Don't get it twisted. I have several friends that I've made doing this. But there are people that I admire and feel like I know personally just because they do this. They do what I'm doing right now. They do a wrestling show, right? They do a wrestling podcast. And with doing a podcast comes, in my mind, posting picture and video about WWE, AEW, New Japan, CMLL, whatever it may be, along with all the other smaller yet beloved promotions in the world of professional wrestling. I know those are some pretty big promotions that I laid out there. But ultimately, what I'm trying to get at here is, right, WWE has never been one to appreciate you posting any sort of video, even if you're at WrestleMania in the nosebleeds and you post the last minute of a match to YouTube from your perspective in the nosebleeds. WWE will call that copyright and take it down. I know, because I've posted a video of bell to bell action loosely, right? It wasn't anything. I mean, their feed was definitely better than mine. I was in the nosebleeds. It was more of me just getting a video of the crowd and stuff, and they took it down and called it copyright, which is freaking hilarious because it was literally my video. But no, they take a step forward. They take it a step forward because, they've been a little loose with it. They've been letting people post things because people have been getting very big in this space very quickly, and they have been posting WWE stuff directly, and WWE has been featuring them directly on episodes of SmackDown. I mean, which is cool. You just that part is cool, but permanently getting rid of somebody's page, we don't get paid too much to do this, right? A lot of us don't even get paid at all, and have the hard work of an individual who supports WWE get their page taken down is just a reflection of how WWE and TKO feel about actual wrestling fans. I mean, these guys hate wrestling fans. They want to appeal to a bunch of new people, and they basically, if they could, they would wipe this fan base out and create a new one from scratch. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Have you seen WWE lately? They hate their fans. They hate their fans. Look at what they did with Cody and Randy. They do not care. That is a story that was decades in the making that they just took a big steamy dump on. That is a Vince level failure. That is you can't come back from it, in my opinion. It's going to take moving, heaven and earth to come back from that. You screwed that up. That wasn't for Hollywood. The CM Punk versus Roman match, while I was very excited for that, that was a little bit more like, okay, this is like a Hollywood blockbuster match. And it main evented night two, right? But that Cody Randy match, that was the wrestling fans match. That was our match. And they shat all over it. And here they are getting people's pages permanently taken down. It's definitely got me thinking, I've been thinking, and I've never shared this on my show today. I guess there's a first time for everything. Here we go. I've been thinking about what the end is going to look like. Now, let me be clear. I don't want to stop doing this podcast. I love doing the Wrestling is Bullshit podcast. But I have posted a lot of different things and had a lot of different identities when it comes to Wrestling is Bullshit as an Instagram page. In fact, that's where most of the people know me as. They know me as an Instagram page. A few of you have came over to the YouTube, and I appreciate it. I want to keep going. I enjoy doing this. I thought I would like doing this. Took a risk, and I do. I love doing this. But the whole Instagram crap, I could do without it. And if they want to get rid of my page, go ahead. Go ahead. I will continue to do this show. Go ahead. Instagram is toxic anyways, I do. The YouTube is a little more old school bread and butter, and this is what I enjoy doing the most these days. But man, they got to be coming after me at some point because I've posted a lot of stuff. I got over 5,000 posts since late 2018. I've been following this thing a long time. We are approaching almost a decade. We are within 2 years of a decade of being a force in this space, being a voice in this space more so. And man, I'm getting all reflective, getting all nostalgic now. But yeah, I just can't imagine waking up one day and having my page terminated, something that I've been dumping 8 years of my life into. And, it's not like it's all my life. Or in fact, it's a pretty small part of my life, to be honest. But I love it. I enjoy it. There are situations where I don't appreciate the fan base, but don't think I'm like WWE to where I hate this fan base. I don't. I want better for this fan base. That's why I do what I do. Right? It's very wrong. You're taking an entrepreneur, someone that had nothing and made something, made a presence, made an audience, made a community, and you're destroying it for what? It pertains to your product, silly goose. It pertains to your product. Why would you want less people talking about WWE on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, Facebook? Why would you want less of that? It's because you want to have a new genesis with a new fan base. And you want us fans, this fan base right here listening, you want us to just go watch NXT and go watch TNA. It's messed up. It's really messed up. I don't mind WWE trying to reach a new audience, but you can't forget about the one that got you to where you are. The one that puts value into your business, the one that puts value into your company. All right, let's continue, man. Several pages have been taken down. I would want someone to talk about this if it happened to me, so I'm talking about it. And sooner or later, one day, it might happen to me. But I promise to keep always going here with the Wrestling is Bullshit podcast because I enjoy this. I enjoy doing this. And it doesn't ever have to blow up, really. If you get joy and value out of this show every week, listening you right now, that's good enough. That's good enough. All right, let's continue here. We have two WWE-esque pieces of news. WWE is boldly going into a weird future that probably a bunch of us don't agree with, but it's happening nonetheless, right? It's sad because Backlash just happened. I should be excited, right? I should be excited after a premium live event. I should be like, what's happening next? I don't give a shit about what's happening next. The only thing I care about is Roman. Oh, I mean, yeah, the Roman Fatu match was solid, and clearly they have unfinished business, but I knew that coming out of Raw for the past few weeks. You know, I'm not excited the way a premium live event used to excite me. I think they're missing the point with premium live events. I mean, again, you have 5 matches. 2 of those matches are title matches. Both champions retain the title. No further development. I mean, you got Asuka potentially retiring. You know, they kind of closed out the Io and Asuka feud. The Rollins and Breaker feud can continue or not. It's probably going to continue. Just yeah. I mean, the Rollins thing is the one thing I'll say. I'm a huge Rollins fan. He's just lost a lot of momentum with his injury. He faked an injury and then he actually got injured. That karma came quick because that fake injury was kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. That did get me excited. I did enjoy that as a big Rollins fan, of course. But yeah, karma's a bitch, right? Like Rollins actually gets injured. He's set up to be the face of Raw and then gets injured like crazy. And then they take a storyline that they just started between Rollins and Heyman and they squash it. And Rollins is back to being a face. You know, I was finally excited for Rollins to be a heel. Very unfortunate. All right. We'll see if WWE can pick their shit back up. Their premium live events do not look very exciting to me right now. Backlash was not that exciting. Granted, it was a couple weeks after WrestleMania, so there's that. We'll see what Clash in Italy has in store for us. I believe that is the next one. But while WWE's premium live events might become boring to me, I think something will ascend that is a part of that WWE TKO family, and that is Triple A's Triple Mania. WWE currently has WrestleMania and SummerSlam as 2-night events. And now, kind of by default, Triple A's Triple Mania will become a 2-night event starting this year. What's interesting is they'll do a Friday night and a Sunday night. So I wonder if WWE is going to squeeze a premium live event into that Saturday there and go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Triple Mania Friday, premium live event, Triple Mania Sunday. I could see them doing that, or at least doing NXT. It would make sense to just have a all-out weekend like that. But Triple Mania is going to be a 2-night event. And to me, that spells beautiful things for the future of AAA Lucha Libre. You got CMLL, as good as it always is. And then you got AAA, a promotion that kind of suffered from AEW's initial existence, finding a home under WWE. And while WWE may be in a mediocre place right now, I think AAA is the best it's ever been. I think it's like the unofficial third main roster show. And it's in Spanish and it's for Mexico. NXT is doing okay. They got some solid champions. Like, they're not doing bad by any means. It's just the peak of NXT is behind us. NXT is more of a developmental show than anything these days, and we more so watch it for individual stars instead of a brand. AAA is kind of becoming that third brand more than NXT is, and definitely more than TNA is. They just squeeze the life force out of TNA to make NXT what it is. But it's cool to see Triple Mania. Like, I feel negative about WWE. I've been feeling negative about WWE since about January is really when that started at a very high level. But I feel good about AAA. When I watch AAA, I'll take the mediocre state of WWE just to see Mexican Lucha Libre flourish under the WWE banner, because it is pretty good. And then, of course, CMLL just stays true to the authentic, original heritage of Lucha Libre and what a pro wrestling promotion is. Really, like, they are the kings of that. So I'll take that. That's a positive right there. I know I started this show off super glum and negative, and now here we are, looking at how amazing Lucha Libre is doing. The Mexican audience deserves that, and I'm happy about that. At Backlash, at Backlash. Okay. Anywho, you guys know what I'm referring to. The ad. You got. If you're a real wrestling fan, you know. Okay. If you're not, sorry. All right. We at Backlash had the John Cena Classic announced. The John Cena Classic is going to be a yearly event, and there will be a championship that will be entering WWE with it. But ultimately, this championship is not won in the bell-to-bell capacity. This championship is voted on by the fans. What that looks like, we do not know yet. It's the John Cena Classic is basically supposed to be a WWE versus NXT card where the best performance, whether you are scripted to win or lose the match, can win a championship just based on going out there and giving their best performance. It is a different idea, and I know a lot of people are uneasy about it, really, in the space, because the championship is to be won and lost in bell-to-bell action. I understand that, but this championship is more so an honor. It's more of a Super Bowl ring in the way that the Crown Jewel Championship is, in a weird way, right? It's not meant to be won and lost, I don't think. We'll find out, really. I don't know that for sure, but it's really meant to be, it's meant to celebrate a athlete for their performance on one night and say this person has the John Cena stamp of approval. And I think that's great. I really think that's fantastic. You just have like a super card featuring WWE and NXT superstars, and you let the fans decide, man, who impressed me most tonight. And you let John Cena have a piece of that too, because I imagine this comes with some capacity of creative control for John Cena. Of course, he's not wrestling anymore, so the creative control really means nothing to him as an athlete, I imagine. I think he more so objectively just wants to champion superstars that fly under the radar. I think John Cena knows what WWE fails to do, and while they may be riding life on the high horse, right, like, he knows they're going to forget to do this the way that Vince did. He knows that there's going to be a disconnect between the fans and the creative team, the fans and the company, I should say. And he knows that he can flourish off of this. And this is really where John Cena can contribute to the world of professional wrestling. He can continue to act full-time. He can continue to do whatever he wants to do. And then he could come to WWE once a year, say, this is what I want to do for the John Cena Classic. This could end up meaning more than WrestleMania means at this point. I don't want to say that. That's crazy for me to say right now. I don't want that to happen. But if they don't figure it out, I mean, it's possible. This is the world of wrestling. Anything is possible. But I think this can become a really cool thing. And I think that winning that championship will mean that you have the Cena stamp of approval, which I know Cena was a dick, all right? I know the real John Cena was an asshole when it comes to backstage. Yes, he was everyone's hero, and he was all over everything, and the John Cena train was huge. But at the end of the day, like, he put in the work, right? He was a legend. He is a legend. They call him the greatest of all time, and that might be true. He might be the greatest wrestler of all time. And honestly, he's probably doing this because this can further cement that. If he creates a unique event where he is the babyface commissioner of it, and the fans determine who gets that championship for one night only based on their performance, I'm sure more often than not, a person that wins their match will get the championship. But you have a situation where it's like similar to Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan in 2019, where Bryan got the pinfall, but Kofi Kingston looked like the winner. He looked like $1 million, right? You'll get cases like that, and that person will win the championship. And really, it's pro wrestling. I think the legacy and the philosophy of what John Cena is trying to do here speaks louder than the traditions of the business. I think that the business has some excellent traditions, many in which they've gotten away from. I don't think this is a hindrance on that. I think other things being done by TKO are a hindrance on that. This is going to be cool. And it might be a gem in a kind of dark time of WWE. Hopefully we can get out of these dark days before. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, because we are kind of in a weird state. We'll see what happens. Now we get to the watch list, guys, and the watch list is all AEW. So maybe you'll hear a little bit more joy in my voice. All right. Shit. I don't want to be a tribalistic wrestling show, but I have to call a spade a spade. WWE's not doing well right now. AEW is. And I hope that I was able to do justice for WWE when they were doing well. Because they were the pinnacle of wrestling for a long time. Like, the spirit of wrestling lived with WWE from 2022 to, I would say, 2025. 2025 had it. WrestleMania and SummerSlam were both really good. I mean, I know the John Cena thing pissed a lot of people off at WrestleMania last year, but yeah, I thought 2025 was okay, and then towards the second, it just slowly deteriorated. Like, there was just a couple of big things that they missed, right? The return of Brock Lesnar to close out night 2 of SummerSlam. Questionable. Super questionable, kind of gave me the ick. The Saudi Rumble earlier in 2026. Super questionable, gave me the ick. John Cena pissed other people off. I wasn't as pissed off. I kind of thought there was like an irony to him winning his 17th title in a boring, like, over corporate fashion. Like, it was all part of the story. It was him doing exactly what he said he was going to do. That's why it didn't piss me off, because they built to that moment actually happening. The Pat McAfee stuff earlier this year was way too much. That definitely, yeah, it's just been a series of things that have caused WWE to lose the trust, because their trust was unshakable. They had a grip on the community. Everybody was, how do I even say this? Everybody was tuning in weekly and enjoying it for 2 years and some change, almost 3 years. But they lost it. They shit the bed. Now they got to clean it up. That's gross. Anywho, but there was during that time, 2022 to 2024, I would say AEW was figuring it out. They weren't as good as they are right now. It's taken them a lot of hard-learned lessons to get to where they're at right now. So this thing goes back and forth, right? And maybe we'll get to a point where both of them can fire on all cylinders. And that's kind of the thing, right? WWE knows what to do. They've done it recently, very recently. They know how to do it. They know what to do. They're just not doing it. They're just prioritizing other things. Their greed is getting in their own way. I'm sorry. When they get back on track, I will sing their praises as loud as everyone else. I promise. But don't think I'm tribalistic. Okay, I tell you how I really feel. I tell you the truth. But my allegiance is not tied to either one. They both excel, WWE and AEW. They both excel in different ways. And when they are excelling, they are both amazing in their own unique way. And I would like to see both of them excel. I mean, it's WWE, right? It's the nostalgia. It's the legacy. It's the tradition, really. So, yeah, I know I can sound tribalistic sometimes. I love WWE. I want it to flourish. It's not doing that right now. What service am I doing the community by saying it's doing that when we all know it's not? Right? All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into the watch list. We got 2 shows. All right. Kind of a chill week, but a unique week. A week you could probably take off if you wanted to. But no. This is the type of week that I like. I like this watch list. This is good fun. All right, you got 2 shows. You got Wednesday, you got Friday. On AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, you got Darby Allin taking on Konosuke Takeshita, defending the AEW World Championship. And on Friday, the first Ring of Honor premium live event of the year. The first big Ring of Honor show of the year. We have Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. We have 4 big matches of significance here. We have Red Velvet taking on Viviana Van, defending the Ring of Honor Women's World Television title. We have Athena defending the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship in a survival of the fittest match. Athena is set to defend her title in a survival of the fittest match against Yuka Sakazaki, Trish Adora, Billy Starks, Maya World, and a surprise opponent. Very exciting stuff. I enjoy Ring of Honor big shows. I don't enjoy Ring of Honor as a weekly show. No. But their big Ring of Honor shows feel like more than an AEW Dynamite. They feel like more of a weekly show. They actually feel like a premium live event, right? I might be more excited for Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor more than I was for Backlash. I was excited for the main event. They built this whole show around Roman versus Fatu. But that WWE can't afford to do that. Like UFC can afford to do that, WWE cannot afford to do that. In fact, UFC hurts themselves by not putting on strong cards. WWE has to continue putting on strong cards. None of this lazy shit. You can have a 5-match card. That's fine. I was never against that. In fact, I remember saying, that's fine. I don't mind having a 5-match card instead of a 7-match card because AEW gives me 10-match cards and I get burned out. So it's nice that WWE kind of gives half that. It doesn't feel so draining. Right? I was cool with the 5. The ads are draining, though. Anywho, I feel I like the 5-match card. I don't think it should be 7. I don't think it should be less. I just think that you have to put together 5 splendid matches, not 3 splendid matches on a 5-match card. They have to be sharp because I didn't give a shit about Backlash. Anywho, and it's a shame. Before I move on, it's a shame that I didn't give a shit about Backlash because that was a solid main event. I'm liking this Roman Reigns stuff, man. I'm liking it. I think it's really cool. And I think they can recover by Cody. They can recover Cody by turning him heel, and that could be really cool. As SmackDown returns to a 2-hour show, SmackDown can pick up some of their slack and become a good show again. Anywho, yeah. Forgive me if I'm more excited for Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor than I was for Backlash. I understand why that's annoying. All right. But it's the truth, baby. All right. So we got Red Velvet, right, defending her women's world television title. We got Athena in a survival of the fittest match, defending the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. And then we have Diana Perrazzo defending the Women's Pure Championship against Diamante, and Bandito defending the Ring of Honor World Championship in the main event against Blake Christian. The Bandito versus Blake Christian match is going to cook. Bandito, when it comes to main eventing a Ring of Honor Premium Live event, knows how to close out the show. And that's what's cool, right? I know Ring of Honor is not perfect. It's very far from it. In fact, it's very crap right now. The state of Ring of Honor week to week as a brand is not good. And it gets to the point where these big Ring of Honor shows that they only do 3 of them a year, the big ones end up flying under the radar, right? But there are a couple things that work really well. I think their women's division is really good, which is going to be showcased heavily at this show. I think we're going to get some more title matches announced, right? I'm sure we'll see the Ring of Honor Pure champion Lee Moriarty, who has established himself as a mainstay on that roster. It is an excellent showcase of what Ring of Honor has always been. Nick Wayne is good to go. I'm sure we'll see Nick Wayne again. Hopefully we'll see these tag titles turn into something. That's the main thing for me, is I think the singles titles are fine, really. They're not amazing. Some of them are. Some of them aren't. But they're all pretty consistently fine, the singles titles at Ring of Honor. It's really just the tag and trios title. It's like they're non-existent. And they could be existent. Like, how haven't the Outrunners held them yet? There are a lot of tag teams that can benefit from holding these titles and defending these titles on Collision and Ring of Honor. Like, you got the tools to do something. Do it. I shouldn't be so hard on AEW because they've been really freaking good. It's really just like 2 or 3 titles in Ring of Honor that don't matter anymore. But out of all the titles they have over there in AEW and Ring of Honor, that's a pretty good track record, right? Anywho, we'll see. I kind of wish Swerve was fighting on this show. I know Swerve has been calling out Bandito. I really wanted to see Bandito versus Swerve on this show and see Swerve get the Ring of Honor World Championship. I think that would just carry Ring of Honor, really. And you could do it. You could do it. Be hard to get Swerve on, wrestling for Ring of Honor television. You probably wouldn't do that. You probably just cut promos. But I think if you had Swerve main eventing these big Ring of Honor shows, they would sell. They would absolutely sell. Swerve is one of the biggest stars, and I don't think it shouldn't be below him to hold the Ring of Honor World title. You think about Bandito and the fact that he's done a fantastic job with the Ring of Honor World title. You think about who can carry that momentum. It's Swerve. They don't have anything for him right now, and that's okay, right? Probably not going to win the world title this year. Probably, I don't know. I could see him winning a title, just not the world title. Why not just give him the Ring of Honor World title? Maybe they're building to that. I could see them building to that. But yeah, I will be excited for Supercard of Honor. But I was hoping that they would put Swerve in the main event against Bandito for that Ring of Honor World title. I mean, that just sells, bruh. That just sells. Anywho, we got to do the top 20 champions of wrestling before we get out of here. All right. Said it wasn't going to be a crazy week. Said it wasn't going to be a big show. And look, we had 35 minutes in, for crying out loud. All right, let's get you out of here pretty quickly here. Top 20 champions of wrestling. Start off with the honorable mentions. All right. Honorable mentions. It's a long list. Aaron Rourke, the Evolve champion. The Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions over at New Japan. Bishamontin. Persephone, the CMLL World Women's Champion. TNA World Tag Team Champions, The System. TNA World Champion, Mike Santana. Honorable mention here. Mystico, the CMLL World Light Heavyweight Champion. Nick Wayne, Ring of Honor World Television Champion. Bandito, Ring of Honor World Champion. Leon Slater, X Division Champion. Hechicero, CMLL World Heavyweight Champion. Laney Luck, WWE ID Women's Champion. Diana Perrazzo, Women's Pure Champion of Ring of Honor. Kazuchika Okada, AEW International Champion. Athena, Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Red Velvet, Ring of Honor Women's World Television Champion. NXT Tag Team Champions, The Vanity Project. AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR. IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Callum Newman. and AEW Women's World Champion Tekla. These are all honorable mentions for the top 20 champions of wrestling list made by yours truly. And now we get in from 20 to 11. At number 20, we have Divine Dominion, the excuse me. Divine Dominion is the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. And then just above them at number 19, we have Damian Priest and R-Truth, WWE Tag Team Champions. Number 18, we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the Ichiban Sweet Boys. Number 17, we have Mustafa Ali, the TNA International Champion. At number 15, we have the AEW World Trios Champions, the Conglomeration. Number 14, we have the TBS Champion Willow Nightingale. Number 14, we have the NXT Women's Champion Lola Vice. At number 13 now, we have the North American Champion Miles Bourne from NXT. At number 12, we have the United States Champion Trick Williams. Again, there's no reason for him not to be in the top 3, really. Top 5, more realistically, of course. But they have been doing a stupid story with him. Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn could have been an awesome 2-match program that goes from WrestleMania into Backlash. But they ruined it with a silly story. I don't understand. Tell an actual story with a good, they just kind of did this weird double turn where Trick is the face now and Sammy's the heel. Sammy's been the baby face. I mean, it's just heartless. It's just silly. You got a story to tell there. Actually tell it. Actually put the work in and make the U.S. title mean something, because it should mean something right now. It should be on the top 10 list. Really. Here it is, number 12, when it could be number 5 or number 3. And then number 11, we have the women's tag team champions, Paige and Brie Bella, right? I think it's just good fun for them to have the belts, and they've been defending them pretty efficiently at this point early on in their title reign. These belts have been slowly built up. It's weird in a postmodern WWE world where it feels like anything not over Roman Reigns' shoulder isn't working. You have these women tag team championships of WWE actually working pretty well. And now they have Paige and Brie Bella holding them, and they are continuing to keep the momentum going. It's been really commendable to see the momentum for the women's tag titles at WWE just continue in a big way. All right, we get into the top 10 here. Number 10 is the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Champion, Konosuke Takeshita. I mean, it's Takeshita. Come on now. Number 9, we have the Continental Championship of AEW, Jon Moxley. It's Jon Moxley. Once again, these guys are just unapologetically themselves and unapologetically fantastic, and show us consistently that is the case. Number 8, we have the Women's North American Champion of NXT, Tatum Paxley. So glad to see Tatum Paxley here on the top 10. I think she is one of the most underrated women's wrestlers in the world right now. Nobody's talking about Tatum Paxley, but she's fantastic, man. And then just above her, number 6, we have Tiffany Stratton, the Women's United States Champion. I think that it's time for this Women's United States Championship to come to the ball here and show up in a big way. So I'm very excited that Tiffany Stratton has this title, because I think she deserves it, right? She's here at number 7. She deserves it. She deserves to have the women's U.S. title, and she is the perfect superstar to get this thing off the ground, the way that the Women's Intercontinental Championship has been able to get off the ground. And that is actually our number 6 here. Becky Lynch has consistently brought it when defending this Women's Intercontinental Championship, right? She had a program with Lyra Valkyria that was awesome. She had a program with AJ Lee that was awesome. And now we're going to see what's in store for her. All right, she still has this title. She had a program with Maxine Dupree, right? So, yeah, Becky Lynch almost making the top 5 there. Doing fantastic work, and I think Tiffany Stratton is right behind her, ready to have a nice little competition between who can make a more interesting mid-card title between Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. Is it Becky Lynch or is it Tiffany Stratton? I think we're ready to find out. Number 5, we have the NXT champion, Tony D'Angelo. Feels like the Dawn, Tony D'Angelo, has been somebody who has been waiting for his and years of waiting and giving him the reps that he needs to become the guy of NXT. He's finally ready to be the guy of NXT. And he's been early on in his NXT championship reign. We crowned him in early April. So he's a top 5 champion in my book. And I think that'll be a common sentiment well into the summer. But I think he's just getting started. And I think his start is really good. I think he has a lot of potential. If he just gets his good reps being NXT champion, elevates NXT as one of the most interesting champions, if not the most interesting champion over at NXT at a time where NXT is doing really freaking well from a bell to bell action concept. NXT is a developmental show, so it's really hard to get excited for it, right? It used to be a developmental show that wasn't afraid to put a better quality forward than the main roster. It's not that anymore. Now, if you're putting out main roster work and you're ready, they're going to send you to the main roster. Otherwise, they're just going to give you reps until you perfect what you need to perfect, until you perfect your weakness. I mean, a lot of guys are there long overdue for a main roster run, to the point where you lose a lot of momentum with them, right? But ultimately, they don't care about the momentum. They care about giving the superstar the reps that they need. Anywho, you got Tony D'Angelo, somebody that NXT has been building for years, and he is a top 5 champion. He's number 5 as the NXT champion. And then at number 4, you got the TNT champion, Kevin Knight. The Jet has been excellent. He has been waiting for a time to shine like this, and here he's got it. Number 3, we have the Intercontinental champion, Penta. Number 2, we have the World Heavyweight champion, Roman Reigns. And number 1, we have the AEW World Champion, Darby Allin, who just defended his title twice in 1 week. Once on Dynamite, once at AEW Fairway to Hell, which was basically a 1-hour collision. That was good fun. That actually saw Mark Davis win the AEW National Championship. I forgot to mention that. Weirdly enough, yes, AEW went head-to-head with WWE's Premium Live event, and their head-to-head 1-hour show saw a title change. Mark Davis, the new AEW National Champion, no longer Jack Perry. Forgot to mention that in the results. This is the first time for everything, I guess. But nonetheless, guys, I think it's time to go. I'll talk to you guys later. We'll talk about wrestling soon. Yeah, be good and be happy. Peace out.